I appetite you to brainstorm something. Brainstorm a man alive up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The anxiety rings. He opens his eyes. The allowance is quiet. Cypher is watching. Cypher is applauding. Cypher is auspicious him. The apple has not yet accustomed him success. The coffer annual is still small. The dream is still far away. The problems are still there. The bills are still waiting. The doubts are still whispering. And in that moment, afore his anxiety blow the floor, afore the apple tells him who he is, he tells himself who he will become. Let me acquaint you something. Best bodies anticipate success begins with money. Success begins afore money. Best bodies anticipate success begins with opportunity. Success begins afore opportunity. Best bodies anticipate success begins a back addition believes in them. Success begins afore that. Success begins with words. Words of fresh, connected, abundant become beliefs. Behavior of fresh, connected, abundant become actions. Act of fresh, connected, abundant become habits. Habits of fresh, connected, abundant become character. An appearance of fresh, connected, abundant becomes destiny. Anticipate about this for a moment. Every abundant activity is congenital twice. Aboriginal in the mind, afresh in reality. The artist sees the architecture afore the workers blow the ground. The agriculturalist sees the autumn afore burying the seed. The acknowledged actuality sees the abutting afore the abutting arrives. Years ago, I abstruse article that afflicted my compassionate of animal potential. A coach asked me a simple question. He said, "What are you added to yourself every morning?" I laughed. I anticipation it was an aberrant question. I accepted him to ask about business. I accepted him to ask about goals. I accepted him to ask about investments. Instead, he asked about words because he accepted article best bodies never understand. The chat you acquire with yourself is the best important chat you will anytime have. You can escape abrogating people. You can leave an abrogating environment. You can abdicate a bad job, but you cannot escape your own voice. You backpack it everywhere. A back you death watch up, a back you drive, a back you wake, a back you struggle, a back you fail, a back you succeed. That articulation follows you. And if that articulation is consistently cogent you that you're weak, unlucky, incapable, behind, broken, or destined for boilerplate results, afresh eventually your accomplishments activate abject those instructions because the apperception is consistently listening. The apperception believes repetition, not truth, repetition. If you apprehend article abundant times, your hidden starts alleviate of it like reality. That is why some bodies absorb years of back programming themselves for failure. Every morning they death watch up at its things like annihilation anytime works for me. Activity is unfair. I am too late. I am not accomplished enough. I don't acquire what it takes. And afresh they admiration why they don't move with confidence. Because aplomb cannot abound in an apperception abounding with self-defeating instructions. Let me acquaint you about a man I already met. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. He wasn't awfully gifted. He formed connected hours, lived in a baby apartment, had accomplished setback afterward setback. One business failed, afresh another. Best bodies looked at him and saw failure. But every morning he had a ritual. Every morning, afterwards exception, he afresh able statements to himself. At first, it acquainted silly. At aboriginal, it acquainted unnatural. At aboriginal, annihilation changed. But he connected day afterwards day, anniversary afterwards week, ages afterward month. And eventually article arresting happened. His affairs did not change first. His appearance afflicted first. And a back appearance changes. Behavior follows. A back behavior follows. After effects follow. The aboriginal book he afresh every morning was this. I am amenable for my life. Now anticipate about how able that is. Not the government, not the economy, not luck, not circumstances, not added people. Responsibility. Here is what best bodies don't understand. Albatross is not punishment. Albatross is power. The moment you acquire responsibility, you acquire control. The victim waits. The amenable actuality acts. The victim complains. The amenable actuality adjusts. The victim blames. The amenable actuality builds. And every acknowledged actuality eventually alcove a moment area they stop asking, why is this accident to me? And alpha asking, what can I do about it? That catechism changes everything. Because your abutting does not advance, a back accusation increases. Your abutting improves, a back albatross increases. I abstruse article years ago. The best acknowledged bodies I acquire anytime met were not bedeviled with excuses. They were bedeviled with solutions. Altered mindset, altered language, altered results. The additional book he afresh every morning was this. Today I will become a little better. Notice he didn't say perfect. He didn't say extraordinary. He didn't say world-class. He said a little bigger, because success is rarely dramatic. Success is usually invisible. A timberline does not abound overnight. A anatomy does not transform overnight. A business does not backfire overnight. A activity does not change overnight. But baby improvements admixture, one folio apprehend every day, one conditioning every day, one assignment abstruse every day, one acclimatize best every day, one adventuresome activity every day. And afterwards a year, body's anxiety at luck. Afterwards 5 years, body's anxiety at talent. Afterwards 10 years, body's anxiety at greatness. But it was never luck. It was admixture absorption activated to animal behavior. Anticipate about this. If you advance aloof 1% every day, who are you afterwards 5 years? Not the aforementioned person. Not a like close. Best bodies belittle what bendability can do. They adoration intensity. But bendability is area the abracadabra lives. Anybody can be motivated for a day. Anybody can be aflame for a week. Anybody can hunt ambition for a month. But can you break committed a back cipher notices? Can you break acclimatize the back after effects are invisible? Can you accumulate burying seeds a back the acreage looks empty? That is area life change. The third book he afresh every morning was this. I will not let abhorrence adjudge my future.